In Detroit, Michigan, a man named Chris Smafford had just broken up with his girlfriend named Erica and was hoping that they could go their separate ways peacefully. And when he first broke the news that he wanted to break up with her, she seemed to be unbothered by it and even agreed that it would be best if they ended their relationship. But a few days later, his now ex-girlfriend showed up at his brother's apartment who he lived with, and after ringing the doorbell, the woman was expecting someone to open the door. But after being recognized by Chris's brother and not being able to properly articulate what she wanted and why she was there, Smafford's brother didn't feel comfortable opening the door. So he decided to talk to her through his doorbell, which was equipped with a camera, and pretended that he didn't know her and told her that she had the wrong address.
Hello.
Who you looking for? Who? Who did that?
My name is Erica.
You got the wrong house.
Okay, fine.
Chris, who wasn't home at the time, was then informed by his brother that his ex-girlfriend had stopped by, but Chris didn't take it too serious and ignored it. But 1 week later, while sitting in his car with another woman near his job, it would come back to haunt him.
They were sitting in a parked car when somebody walked up and just started shooting.
It happened this afternoon on West Grand Boulevard, not far from the Motown Museum. Police on the scene rushed that pair to the hospital. Priya Mann is live tonight as the hunt for the shooter is underway right now. Priya.
Yeah, that's right, Karen. Police say the gunman got away in a red Durango, but he walked up to the vehicle and opened fire. At one point, one of the victims was able to get out of the vehicle screaming for help. And police say as that gunman ran to the red Durango, he turned back and kept shooting.
Chris was unfortunately struck once in the head and left brain dead. And after Chris was shot, his brother rewatched the video of his ex-girlfriend at the door. And this time he noticed something he didn't notice the first time around. He noticed that while she was at the door, there was a man in a black hoodie waiting on the staircase, and after turning this into police, they brought her in for questioning, and it was eventually revealed that she had paid a man to take him out. In Cincinnati, Ohio, a man had connected with a group of women over an online dating app, and after talking for a few days, he decided that he wanted to meet up with the women, so he invited them over to his house, but this would turn out to be a huge mistake. After using him for food and drinks, the women texted two men the address of the house, and about an hour later the men arrived, and the men knocked on the door, which was opened by one of the women. And when the man went to see who was at his door, he was shot twice in the chest. And while on the floor, the women and the two men ransacked his apartment and are seen on surveillance running out the complex with his belongings in hand. And by the time the man received medical attention, it was already too late. In Brookhaven, Georgia, Mikael Mundez thought he was going to spend some quality alone time with two women that he met online at the Brookhaven Hotel. But the two women that he met up with had different plans. Miguel is seen on surveillance camera heading up to the room shortly before the women arrive at the hotel. And about 30 minutes later, he's seen heading back to the lobby to go to the convenience store, leaving the women in the room by themselves. After leaving the store, Miguel had no idea that he was walking back into a setup. And when he went back to the room, the two women acted as if they were going to perform a romantic act on him and handcuffed him to the bed. And once he couldn't move, they robbed and pistol whipped him multiple times before fatally shooting him. But due to surveillance cameras, it didn't take long for the women to be arrested and charged with murder. Ray Runyon and his wife June were an elderly couple from Georgia that were excited to finally be able to afford their dream car, a 1966 Mustang. They searched on many different websites, but they got their best offer from a man on Craigslist. And on the evening of January 27, 2015, the couple traveled 3.5 hours thinking that they were going to take a look at the car. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Instead of a car being there, a man named Ronnie Towns was there waiting on them with no intention of selling them anything. When the couple notified Towns that they had arrived at their meetup spot, Towns walked up to the driver's side window and fired multiple shots into the car, hitting both Ray and his wife in the head before running off. But due to surveillance cameras, it didn't take long for police to find him and eventually charge him with murder. In Brooklyn, New York, a man and the mother of his child had been getting into heated arguments over the phone for a while. and after days of arguing, he texted that he wanted to meet up with her and take a walk together while they hash out their issues. The woman agreed, thinking that they would resolve their issues, but what she didn't know is that he had completely different plans. While walking down the sidewalk with their child in a stroller, the man pulled a knife out of his pocket and stabbed the mother of his child repeatedly in the back before calmly walking away. The man then tried to hide, but due to multiple surveillance videos catching him,